at the Immaculata Arena at Marywood University. This is CSAC college basketball action. Tonight, this afternoon, I should say, it is the Marywood University Pacers taking on the Mighty Macs from Immaculata University. Hi, everyone. Along with Nicola Manzo, I'm Brendan Murphy. Pleasure to be with you this afternoon for a big game. Both teams have playoff hopes on the line, and we're also keeping an eye on the matchup over down in Rosemont, Keystone College versus Rosemont. That game weighs a lot onto tonight.
Well, it certainly does, because the good thing for the Pacers today, they're in luck. If Keystone loses, they're in, or if they win, they're in, and then a combination of both would get them the 5 seed. So some pressure might be taken off of them even before the game starts here, or midway through the first half, if a Keystone loss does occur.
Well, you're absolutely right. The Pacers can clinch a playoff spot with a win or a loss by Keystone. If they do that scenario, they will clinch the 5 seed. In that event, Immaculata would be eliminated, as Keystone would make the playoffs as the 6 seed. Immaculata, on the other hand, needs a Keystone loss, and they need to win today. This is a huge game for both teams. Both teams are going to be playing their hearts out. A lot of these guys want their playoff spot, but none other than the Pacers seniors who are being honored behind us as we speak. Kendall Farrell, Jeremy Ringland, and James Curley, as it is senior night here at the Immaculata Arena.
Well, this is a season-defining tilt, Brendan. I mean, determines your season. I bet you if you asked Coach Mastroianni at the beginning of the season, what's a realistic goal for your team, I bet you'd say we want to make the playoffs. So this probably goes a long way today in determining whether or not your season's viewed as a success or as another building year. But the one good thing you can say about the Pacers is they're moving in the right direction. It's just a matter of sustaining that going forward.
You're absolutely right. And the Pacers have come into this game winning 3 games in a row. They beat Gwen and Mercy last Saturday, which was a huge win. They won that one 65-57 back on February the 10th. And IMAC won the first meeting between these two schools, and it was a blowout in the second half. IMAC won that game 97-69. Well, let's look at who's in the spotlight tonight, and we will start with the big 2 for the Pacers, and Jeremy Ringland, who is a junior on the court, but he's a senior in the classroom, and he's decided to forego his senior year. So this is his senior night, and he comes into this one coming off a big game against Clark Summit, 22 points along with 8 rebounds. And Tip Schwartz, well, what else is there really to say about Tip? He's been the leader of this team all year. The junior has been a CSAC honor roll mention almost every week of the season.
Yeah, I think recently it was just a player of the week, too, in the conference. So really, you said it right, Brendan. This is like their dynamic duo this year, Ringland and Schwartz. It's been their show all season, especially Schwartz. He's really carried the team. And you know today you're going to need production out of those 2 guys. Hopefully you get some other production mixed in. Balanced scoring is always good, but you have to focus today on getting those 2 guys off early. Those are your playmakers, so you got to get them the ball. You need to get them off to ensure a victory.
Schwartz also had 19 points and 11 rebounds in the game against Clark Summit, had a double-double. That's his 3rd of the season. On the other side for Immaculata, we have a couple of big-time playmakers for them. We start with Mike Pikowski, who is the team leader in scoring and is the 2nd team leader in rebounds. Also shoots 41% from beyond the arc, which is a very impressive number.
Very nice. I mean, especially for a big man, like I said, or a guy that's, well, not a big man, but a guy that's leading their team in points per game. It gives him a good, versatile sort of scoring attack there. You want to clamp down on 3-point shooting too, because I know the first time they played, I think they shot 48% from 3. Immaculata did when we played them the first time. And I'll tell you what, they were here early on to shoot on. They're fired up. They were throwing down dunks and everything, so they're fired up just as much as Marywood is today.
Jordan Ambrose is the team's 2nd leading scorer, also shoots 41% from beyond the arc. So the Pacers are going to have to do very well defensively to contain those 2 beyond the arc. Well, the ceremony is just about over. We have a huge matchup coming up, so be sure to stay tuned for that coming up right up next. It's the Pacers and the Mighty Macs of Immaculata coming up.
Ringland holds the record for most blocks in a single season at Marywood with 63 and is the all-time leader in block shots with 158. He has scored 904 points in only 3 seasons. Last season, he was selected to the CSAC Honorable Mention team and the Honors Court for academic excellence. Jeremy will graduate in May with a degree in financial planning and will be remembered as one of the best ever to lace up for the Pacers. Once again, number 33, Jeremy Ringland. Please join Marywood University and Sister Mary Persico as we honor Kendall Farrell, Eric Shervanian, James Curley, and Jeremy Ringland.
At the Immaculata Arena at Marywood University, this is CSAC college basketball action. Tonight, this afternoon, I should say, it is the Marywood University Pacers taking on the Mighty Macs from Immaculata University. Hi, everyone. Along with Nico Manzo, I'm Brendan Murphy. Pleasure to be with you this afternoon for a big game. Both teams have playoff hopes on the line, and we're also keeping an eye on the matchup over down in Rosemont, Keystone College versus Rosemont. That game weighs a lot onto tonight.
Well, it certainly does, because the good thing for the Pacers today, they're in luck. If Keystone loses, they're in, or if they win, they're in, and then a combination of both would get them the 5 seed. So some pressure might be taken off of them even before the game starts here, or midway through the first half, if a Keystone loss does occur.
Well, you're absolutely right. The Pacers can clinch a playoff spot with a win or a loss by Keystone. If they do that scenario, they will clinch the 5 seed. In that event, Immaculata would be eliminated, as Keystone would make the playoffs as the 6 seed. Immaculata, on the other hand, needs a Keystone loss, and they need to win today. This is a huge game for both teams. Both teams are going to be playing their hearts out. A lot of these guys want their playoff spot, but none other than the Pacers seniors who are being honored behind us as we speak. Kendall Farrell, Jeremy Ringland, and James Curley, as it is senior night here at the Immaculata Arena.
Well, this is a season-defining tilt, Brendan. I mean, determines your season. I bet you if you asked Coach, that's definitely welcome news, but for obvious reasons, I can understand why Coach doesn't want to tell the players, just because it could affect the way you play, and there's still stuff on the line today. There's still stuff to be played for, so I don't think he's going to want to really mess with their preparation, especially at this point. I mean, you're about to take the court. Well, a few interesting things about the game today, I think, are one thing to point to for Marywood as a key, I think, is going to be the defensive effort, because if you look at their last, let's say, 5 games here and their score lines, they go like this in terms of points scored for the Pacers. It was 77, 65, 66, 55, and then a 64. So that's pretty much averaging right there in the mid-60s, and it's pretty consistent. And if you look at a lot of their games, the difference lies in whether or not they hold their opponent's field goal percentage down. Like I said, the first time in the first meeting with Immaculata shot 55% from the floor and 48% from 3 with 10 3-pointers. So that goes a long way explaining that 29-point deficit that they lost by in the first game. So 10 3-pointers on the board and shooting at 48% from 3, that's obviously a way to gain points pretty fast, and Immaculata exploited that in the first game. And the other thing in the first game that really stood out when I look back at the stats was 20 Pacer turnovers, and off of that was 33 points off of turnovers. Immaculata seems to be a quick team in the passing lanes. They're averaging 10 steals a game. They're forcing 18 turnovers a game. So you really have to be careful with the ball, not allow them to create easy opportunities in transition.
I mean, you're absolutely right, and turnovers is something we've seen all year from the Pacers do constantly. They have a hard time protecting the basketball. And even on the women's side, we've seen turnover after turnover after turnover. But the games that they limit the turnovers and do nothing wrong, they win games.
Oh, they do, and that goes back to, fundamentals. That's every time you talk to a coach. Doesn't matter. I mean, I've talked to a few coaches over the past couple of weeks, but doing different things and different assignments in the department, and I'll tell you, every coach basically says around the same thing, no matter what level of experience you have, old, young. It all boils down to the fundamentals. Are you taking care of the ball? Are you passing right? Are you thinking before you do things? Are you showing good, in this case, good basketball IQ? That's going to be what it boils down to here today. I mean, both teams are hungry. I think that you could probably throw out that 29-point or 28-point loss in the first meeting, because both these teams are really fired up. It's going to be a lot of emotion out there today. I think it'll probably be a close game.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. This is going to be, it should be a very close game indeed. And as you see on our screen here, you have another update for the Keystone Rosemont game. Rosemont has extended their lead to 31 points. How about that?
Well, they're not letting up. They're trying to play spoiler here today. They don't want make it easy for Keystone, and they're certainly not. So the Pacers might be sending them a basket or something, though. I don't know. Rosemont's doing them a favor here, and now all they have to do is do their part of it. And this will be the dream scenario for them today. But, if we could talk for a minute about, really, though, just the odds of them even making it here to this game today, Marywood. They faced some, probably going back a week or so. They hadn't won at Gwynedd Mercy in 18 years, and they overcame that for an absolutely huge victory, as we talked about last Saturday. And then, Clark Summit isn't a good team. They're winless in the CSAC. So to win by 4 there might have been a little bit concerning for Coach, but at this point in the year, it stops being about how you won and just whether or not you won. You just need to win at this point in the year. You kind of stop worrying about, did we do this, did we do that? It's just win, baby, at this point in the year, as Al Davis would say. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. Especially if you look at, let's take the World Series, for instance, because we all saw that 7-game series between the Dodgers and the Astros. It was a tremendous, tremendous series. And Game 5, if you didn't see Game 5, that game was the definition of back and forth. The final score, if I recall correctly, was 13-12, and the Astros won.
that game was the difference. But both teams, it's not like they did anything wrong. They played outstanding offensively. The pitching, all right, both teams weren't very good. But the fact that they were able to put up that many points, that's about who wins. And whoever won was probably going to win that series, and it ended up happening with the Astros.
Well, you know, this is a big game today, too, and I think that, I'm sure in your baseball career you've been in a few big games over the years, and I think, you know, it's tough to kind of keep your even keel about you. It's tough to look at this as just another game, even though every player says they try to. It's not easy. You know, there's a little more riding on this today, and another thing riding on this is momentum for the Pacers. You said they're on a win streak right now. They want to carry that into their first-round matchup. They don't want to go in with sort of a sour taste in their mouth or knowing that they might have left something on the table having to face a better team. So, a lot riding on it today. Really, you can't overstate the importance of the game today. You just can't. The game sells itself. We don't have to talk up the game at all. I mean, the game sells itself. There's plenty to talk about, but I mean, you know why you're watching if you're watching out there. It's because this is a huge game. This is the season-defining moment for these teams.
It looks like the teams are slowly making their way to the benches, and it's just about time for the starting lineups. So as we are getting set for the starting lineups, we will have America's national anthem. Today is a huge game for both teams, and it all starts right here as we are getting underway, and we will start with the starting lineups, and we will start with the Mighty Macs of Immaculata University. So here you go. You've got Will Chapman, the 5'8" senior, number 3. Matt Cruson, the 6' senior, number 22. Jordan Ambrose, the 6'1" sophomore, number 23. Mike Pekarski, the 6'3" junior, number 5. And Josh Singleton, the 6'4" sophomore, number 24. And on the other side, for your Marywood Pacers, It is the classic starting lineup that we have seen just about all of this year. It is Donovan Catchings, the 5'9" freshman number 2. Tip Swartz, the 6'5" junior number 3. Kendall Farrell, the 6'4" senior number 12. James Curley, the 6'2" senior number 32. And Jeremy Ringland, the 6'8" junior number 33.
Nice crowd on hand today is really appreciating, especially the seniors as they're being called out here in the starting lineups. It's a nice crowd. It's an energized crowd here today, so that's a good sign for the Pacers. Just gives them that extra little advantage here playing on their home court.
Pretty much both sides of the arena are full today, and you don't see that too often. I see a lot of student athlete here. I see a lot of parents here. To be honest, I see a couple of my teammates here over in the corner on the other side. But the players are coming to half court. And we are underway as the Pacers win the opening tap. So the camera situation is going to be a little bit different today, as we are going to have up and down cameras. So the Pacers, as you can see, are in the home gray, and the Mighty Macs in the road blue. Ringland gives it off. That's Curley. And the shot clock violation, and it'll go the other way.
A little bit stagnant on that first possession there. You saw a lot of just kind of whipping the ball around the perimeter, not really trying to work in and out game. Before they got it into the post, there was no time left to put a shot up. They had to force one by Ringland there, and then resulted in the shot clock violation. Now the Macs with it. Chapman at the top of the key now. Swings it over to Pekarski. Pekarski, step back. And the foul. Goes on James Curley there. Shot nearly fell for Pekarski. Instead going to line for 2. First one is good. So Pekarski is 2 of 2 after the Curley foul, and 2-0 Immaculata.
Swartz is going to bring it back up the court. Catchings controls it. Finds in Ringland inside. Gives it over to Curley. Curley, a shot for 3 from beyond the arc is good.
Nice shot from Curley there, fairly deep behind the 3-point line there. Found the shooting window though between 2 Immaculata defenders, and he found the bottom of the net.
And a nice 3 there from Pekarski, and he gives the Mighty Macs a 5-3 lead.
Get his hands off! Thank you.
And we have a foul called on Swartz, and the Mighty Macs will take it out. Pardon, the foul was on Will Chapman for the Mighty Macs.
Well, it's important they get those calls early on those sort of like hand checks and the applied pressure, because they really want to come up and apply quick pressure at the top.
Over to the corner. Top! Back to Swartz. Swartz drives, The kick to Catchings. Catchings for three. That comes up short. Rebound pulled down by Matt Cruson. Into the hands of Swartz is Pekarski with an errant pass. And Swartz with an errant pass as Pekarski takes it right back. And Ringland might have gotten a piece of that one, but it goes in regardless. Singleton is on the board. A bad pass there by Catchings, but he finds his man Farrell. Ringland, and the Pacers will reset. 12 to shoot. And a foul will be called on Singleton.
Refs could play a big part in this game today because Immaculata is coming up very physical on defense. And as I was saying before, it's important you get those calls early. It might be a little bit of a deterrent.
Into Ringland, and the alley-oop lane is good. Swartz brings it the other way. Finds Farrell. Farrell with the spin move. And he will be fouled by Singleton.
Pacers showing a little more aggressiveness here. Now that's a good sign because I felt like they were settling a little bit on the first couple of possessions. They're kind of just settling for some contested threes or long jumpers.
And Farrell makes them both. And that shot is swatted away by Ringland. How about that?
Big block there from Ringland. Timed that one perfectly.
Farrell finds Curley. Back to Farrell, extending his range, and he's got it. Kendall Farrell for three, and the Pacers lead 10-7. And Swartz gets his hands on it and gets the steal. He's going to drive, pull up, shot no good, and it's last touched by the Mighty Macs.
It's already at least 2 steals for Schwartz.
Time out! Time out!
We're off to a fast start here. Coach Mastrani taking a timeout there after the steal by Schwartz. And now,
how about that? Look at this score. 84-58, 7:38 left. As you can see on the right side of your screen, the Pacers need a win or a Keystone loss. And it looks like Keystone is about to fall to Rosemont. And with that being the case, they will officially clinch a playoff spot as Swartz misses the three off the inbound.
Schwartz has been a pretty efficient scorer this year. A lot of the games when you read it, he has a nice shooting percentage, and he does shoot some outside jumpers, so that's a true testament to his shooting ability.
Over to Chapman for three, and he knocks it down. So we're all square at 10. Curley, that's a three, no good. Rebound pulled down by Pekarski. Chapman again over Catchings.
Pacers are starting to develop their inside-out game a little bit better. They throw the ball in the post, and they're creating a bunch of open looks from the three-point line, or they're coming off the screens, or catch-and-shoot opportunities.
Catchings gives it off to Farrell. Farrell, the shot over Pekarski is no good. And a foul's call on Farrell. Clearly, Coach Mastriani didn't like the call.
I think he was contesting that he pulled Farrell into him there rather than Farrell initiating the contact. Ref didn't see it that way, though.
It looked like he did, to be honest. I saw his hand go around Kendall, and I guess they called it on Kendall, so that's a foul. And the Mighty Macs have something going. That could have been a double dribble, but they don't call it.
It's probably going to be on Farrell.
There honestly should have been a double dribble call before that. I don't know if you saw it. And it was a decent hesitation by Asa Kitchen, who was just into the game, the 5'8", freshman number 4. But he picked up his dribble, or so it looked like, and then he put it back down. I guess they didn't call it, though. But Jack DeGroot is checked in as Farrell will take a seat. And Catchings draws the offensive foul. And it's going to be Ambrose. He's guilty. And it will go back to the Pacers.
Get out, Curly.
Swartz finds Ringland at the top of the key. Catchings drives, and the circus shot no good, but Curley gets the tip in.
Nice work there by Curley.
Nice
Make his way
reaction by
through the
this large
defense.
crowd here, too. I'll tell you what, though, I watched a couple of interviews last night with the legendary baseball announcer Vin Scully, and he always credited his excellence in the booth to the crowd. And he loved the way the crowd got themselves into the game. And he said he even loved, as a kid, he loved just sitting underneath his radio and listening to the crowd roar. And Scully said how it gave him goosebumps and it got him so excited, and that's what made him want to be a broadcaster. And you've seen all these years that he's done games by himself, and he takes the time and gets quiet so you can hear the crowd. And a circus shot is good by Pekarski as Ambrose knocks it out of bounds, so the Pacers will try it again.
We've had a few athletic finishes at the rim. You saw there at the other end for the Pacers, DeGroot with the nice kind of reverse up and under almost kind of finish, and then the nice finish just then.
Up to Catchings.
Ringland is doing a good job though early, either getting a piece of a lot of these shots or forcing alterations, so that's one of his main functions on this team, is a rim protector.
That is the one thing they're really going to miss without Ringland next year. I really hope that they recruit a big-time rim protector, because if they don't, Tip Schwartz is going to be the tallest guy on this team, and he's a guard. He's not a center.
No, you're right, and he's had a good season though doing what he's been doing, Tip, so they probably don't want to get him out of that mode either.
Which would mean they need to bring in somebody who's maybe a 6'6", 6'7", or even 6'8" to replace Jeremy Ringland. I don't know how you're going to replace him, because he's the school's all-time leader in shot blocks, and he's the single season leader in blocks as well.
Just a couple minutes. Just a couple minutes. Joey!
Swartz for three, that comes off. coming the other way. Monahan got his hand in there, and it goes off the Mighty Macs, and we'll go back to the Pacers.
Nice effort on the defensive end, though. Like I said in the pregame here, that it was going to be a key for them today, their defensive effort. They're really putting a hand to almost every shot. They're contesting, they're blocking, they're altering. They're not making it easy.
That shot comes off. The Mighty Macs bring it up the floor. And the shot for three is good.
And that was some nice ball movement right there. Just passing it and right back. Wide open at the three-point line. Easy points for Immaculata.
That was Brandon McCullough right there. 5'8" freshman getting the shot to go. DeGroot drives, and an errant pass into the hands of Ambrose. He brings it the other way, and good defense there from Schwartz as he gets away without the foul. McCullough for three, and it is good.
We talked about their three-point shooting ability in the pregame, and they just showed it right there. 2 threes in rapid succession.
McCullough is the team's third leading scorer, a 35% three-point shooter.
I think something early to watch for with the Pacers is that as they're shooting 38% from the field is that they have to be careful they don't settle too early for low percentage shots on the offensive end. They got into a stretch at the beginning where they kind of were settling, and then in the middle they started developing some good post offense, a good inside-out game. They weren't tentative. They were only settling for good three-point looks, and they kind of are getting back into a little bit of a funk here.
Well, another look at the Keystone Rosemont game. 84-60, 7:19 remaining. This just keeps getting better and better for the Pacers as they could use a Keystone loss. With a Keystone loss, they will clinch one of the 2 remaining playoff spots. It'll also be interesting to see the finish of this game because if Immaculata wins, Keystone's out. But if the Pacers win, Keystone squeaks into the playoffs as the 6th seed.
It's a little, it's probably a little bit, it might spin your head a little bit at first, but basically it all boils down to this game now because Keystone's, they didn't help themselves. They helped the Pacers in the long run. And now it's going to be on Immaculata to win the game. So this game really, in essence, becomes more important almost for, it's important for both teams, but Immaculata's playoff life is on the line now.
Immaculata lost both matchups to Keystone this season as they get a steal there. They get it up to Ambrose. McCullough looking to make something happen. He drives, pass inside, blocked by Monahan.
Really nice block there because that's hard to do without fouling.
Back over to Schwartz. He finds Monahan inside. The up and under, no good. Pekarski with the rebound. Ambrose for three. Comes up short. DeGroot with the rebound. Shot no good. Monahan comes down with it, so the Pacers will keep it.
Cross two.
Schwartz 0 for 4 early here from the field. I think he's looking for something to get him into his rhythm.
Shot for three from Curley is good.
Meanwhile, Curley is in a rhythm.
That's 8 points for James Curley.
Seems to be using almost the same sort of shot to beat them, too. Just comes off of like a pass and finds a nice window to shoot through, and he's been making it work.
Foul will be called. Appears it'll probably be on Monahan. And that it is.
Gotta like the effort there, though. Ringland back in for the Pacers, along with Tony Cockrell entering the game.
Yeah, it's Tone Cockrell in along with Ringland. Shot from the corner is long.
Release! Release! Look in, Jerry! Look in! Action!
Ringland backing down. And a floater, no good. Rebound pulled down by the 6'5 junior, Morgan Bailey, who's just into the game.
Ringland put a nice move on him there, too. I think he was almost surprised he was so open. He kind of probably could have just laid it off the glass, but he went for the floater there, went a little long.
A nice move, and the floater is no good. Rebound pulled down by Bailey as the Mighty Macs will keep it. Curley gets his man in the air and knocks it down.
And he's feeling it today. Wow, the step back three tickles the twine.
Curley knocks down the Steph Curry specialty with the old step back three. As 3 Pacers were converging for the ball there, and only one came up with it.
Might have to look to keep creating those opportunities for Curley.
Ringland gets it into the corner. DeGroot back to Ringland. Ringland draws a foul. Also on tap today, you have Cabrini at Clark Summit University, Newman at Cairn, Centenary at Gwynedd Mercy. And Ringland makes his first. Tommy DiFilippo and Adam Busada have checked in. Ringland misses his second. So the Cabrini-Clark Summit game has already gone final. Cabrini finished off the regular season. They finished 21-3, 15-2 in conference as they won it 97-70. Newman and Cairn get underway at 3 o'clock along with Centenary and Gwynedd Mercy. But we've got a close one right now. 23-22 in favor of the Marywood Pacers. Pekarski over DiFilippo. Great job defensively by Tommy DiFilippo. It's something you've seen a lot from him this year. Comes in and provides great defense off the bench for the Pacers.
Really hounding defense there. Hand right in the face. Nearly blocked it, I think, or caught a piece of it.
Ringland gets that shot to go.
Something you got to like right now for the Pacers is it seems like Ringland is really finding his footing in the post. A lot of his moves are working. A lot of his shots are falling.
Pekarski no good as DiFilippo pulls down the board. Into the corner, inside to Ringland. Backing down on his man. Finds DiFilippo in the corner for 3, no good. And DeGroot will be called for an offensive foul.
Break, break, break!
much to the dismay of this, I'd say, near capacity crowd here at the Immaculata Arena.
It's a nice crowd. Kind of a perfect storm, I guess, you know. Saturday, senior night, huge game at the end of the season. All spells for a big crowd.
And a turnover. So DiFilippo does his job as Schwartz will come back in. Over to Schwartz. Schwartz, the step back three. No good. Schwartz 0 of 5 from the field early on.
Yeah, not quite in his rhythm yet. Shots look good on the way up, but just catching the rim.
Cordell Lloyd drives, and his shot is rejected by Curley. Cockrell nearly stepped out of bounds, but keeps it. They got to get the ball off the court here. And we'll have a foul called on McCullough. And Matt Cruson will check back in along with Asa Kitchen. So Cockrell will have 1-and-1 at the line. Makes his first.
Percentages have pretty much evened out here as you have Immaculata shooting 35 while the Pacers are shooting 38.
Cockrell goes 1 of 2, stolen away by Schwartz, but he stepped out of bounds. The play was right in front of the bench. It was close. I do think he stepped out of bounds.
Seems to be no objection from Coach Mastriani on that one.
Yeah, it was the right call.
Immaculata still shooting, though, very respectable 44% from the three-point line. They're 4 of 9.
The kick out, the shot for 3 is a little long. Rebound pulled down by Cruson. Back to Kitchen. Trying to do something, no good. Rebound pulled down by Adam Busada. Busada's a guy who's probably going to see a lot of time next year in the absence of Jeremy Ringland, as he's a big guy. He's 6'4", and he plays a little bit bigger than his height. He probably plays about 6'6", because he can jump.
Nice move again there by Ringland, just in and out.
Kitchen misses. Another rebound for Busada.
Now it seems like it's Immaculata that's forcing a little bit. They're kind of coming down the floor, shooting some quick shots. They really aren't great looks.
Busada knocks down a 3. And a timeout by the Mighty Macs.
7-point lead here for Marywood, and the 3 ball is falling for them today, up to 42% now with the last make. The inside out game is working. You see Curley hitting a few threes. 3 actually make 3 for 4. Farrell's 1 for 1. Busada's now 1 for 1. And the inside out game is working just the way they want it to. And surprisingly enough, the Pacers find themselves in a 7-point lead here without any point contribution from Tip Schwartz as of yet. I'm sure that'll change, but as of right now, he sits at an 0 for 5 from the field. So the only thing that could tell you that's encouraging as a coach is that your team is picking up the slack for one of your offensive leaders when he has an off game, because it's inevitable. Everybody has an off game every now and again.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. They are doing pretty much everything they can. But we are 3:21 away from halftime, and the Pacers have built a 7-point lead. Shot in the corner for three, no good. Rebound pulled down by James Curley. Ringland with the turnaround. Nice little spin move there as he gets that to go. And we have a foul on the floor.
I think the ref said the foul was underneath there on Donovan Catchings rather than on the contest by Ringland. Might just have been a little push by Catchings on the shot. Curley doing it all here today. Now he's cleaning the floor.
Come on, he's a senior. He shouldn't be doing that. Now that's the type of job you make a freshman do.
First free throw is good.
Pikarski will have one more. He's a 75% free throw shooter and gets the friendly bounce.
Now we'll have to see if the Pacers do it again, but a great deal of their offense, as I've been saying, is inside out. It's been running through Ringland. They'll get the ball to him in the post, and then everything kind of just works from there. He has an option either to take it himself or pass it back out for a three-point opportunity.
And it's out of bounds, last touch by the Mighty Macs. Swartz finds Catchings. Catchings drives, and he is hit hard as he and Pikarski came together. Both went down. They looked like they are okay.
That's two falls right in a row there on the baseline. Catchings is headed to the line, though.
Is that his first or second foul?
In and out. Pikarski pulls it down. The give to Kitchen. Joe McHugh is into the game for the Mighty Macs, the 6'2 freshman, number 21.
And Immaculata's field goal percentage is now down to 30%, 29.6. And what they're doing is exactly what the Pacers aren't doing. They're settling for a lot of outside shots. They don't seem to be getting the ball inside either through penetration, off the dribble, or through a pass into the post.
Swartz drives, and he's fouled. So he will have two at the line. $1:19 remaining in the first half. Pacers lead it 31-24. First free throw is good. Swartz has been all but automatic from the free throw line this year, shooting at 93%. And he makes them both. Swartz, by the way, has only missed 6 free throws all year. He's 87 of 93. Karski, the pull-up jumper. No good. Schwartz pulls down the rebound. That's his third of the afternoon. Ringland inside, pass to Curley. His shot is blocked. Ringland gets it back and gets the putback.
Really nice offensive stretch for the Pacers here. And a good defensive stretch, too.
Shot no good. Shot clock is off. 16 seconds left.
Every shot right now the Mighty Macs put up is contested. It's a low percentage look. It seems to be a pull-up jumper, and that's credit in part to Marywood's good defense.
Pacers look like they may hold for one last shot. Schwartz to beat the buzzer. It is good. And put the exclamation point on the first half as Tip Schwartz knocks down the three ball, and we will head to the break.
Well, this team is fired up right now, and I bet you that's probably one of the best ways the half could have ended for them. They get Schwartz some confidence there. He has 5 points there in the last minute or so. The one thing that maybe they weren't hitting on so far today came through for them there, and the team is fired up. Looks like they're into the playoffs already, but we could be in store for a number 5 seed here today.
You're absolutely right. So when we come back, we will have our first half recap and potentially a recap of the Keystone Rosemont game if it goes final. We'll have it for you right here on TV-Marywood when we come back. And welcome back to the Insulaco Arena for the start of the second half here on TV-Marywood. Let us take a look at our first half stats. And what a first half it was. The Pacers lead it by 14 points, 38-24, but we mentioned in the open that IMAC is a second half team. And they're shooting 27% right now from the field, 33% from beyond the arc. That's not going to continue. You know those numbers are going to go up. 5 turnovers for the Mighty Macs, 3 for the Pacers. 4 blocks for the Pacers and none for IMAC. And let's see, 43% from the field for the Pacers, 46% from beyond the arc. A lot of that damage was done by James Curley, who had a very, very good first half. 3 of 4 from beyond the arc.
Well, the main takeaway from the first half is that Marywood is working their offense the way they want it to. They're getting the inside-out game developed, like I said before. And to me, it just kind of looks like Immaculata is settling too much. And the Pacers have really had a great defensive effort, a hounding defensive effort. It seems to me like Immaculata can't get the ball inside to create any kind of an offense off of that. As a result, they're taking a lot of contested jumpers.
And a nice shot there by Cruson. We got our game cam back, so there it is. So the Pacers will move left to right in the home gray. And IMAC in the road blue moves right to left. Ringland's pass is tipped, goes out of bounds, and the Pacers will keep it.
I think what we said in the pregame is holding true here. I said if the Pacers were to have a good defensive effort, that they would probably win this game. It's been kind of like the key to their season. I mean, I know defense is essential in any game, in any sport, but their offensive numbers have stayed pretty consistent in terms of scoring. Defense is what makes the difference.
How about that? Kendall Farrell beats the shot clock. Quick release and all.
Shot clock cheese right there.
Who are you, Chris Smove? A lay-in missed by Pikarski as he blows the lay-in. Pass inside for Ringland, couldn't get it. Back out, Farrell drives, finds Ringland, and a foul. And they called the foul on Chapman, but he was nowhere near the play. It looked like the foul was on Pikarski.
Well, the signal was for a block.
20 seconds on the shot clock.
He's saying it's 3. If it was 3, it would have to be a reach. I'm pretty sure he signaled for block, though. So
That's what it looked like.
I think the only way it could be on 3 would be in the case of a reach, right?
So they give the foul to Chapman, so he's got 3.
So this matters. And they do change it to 5, so Pikarski there with the foul.
All right.
And everything is right again.
Everything is right in the world of Pacer basketball as Swartz misses that 3. And the rebound pulled down by McCullough. McCullough, the lone non-starter, as a 3 was knocked down in the corner there. And the Pacers have their entire starting lineup out on the court. Schwartz drives, and a block.
Nice job there by Schwartz on the shot fake. Taking his man off the dribble, gets the blocking call. He's headed to the line for 2.
So Schwartz will have 2 at the line. Again, shoots 93%.
Free throw line has been important all year for Schwartz. He's gotten a lot of his points that way.
That he has, and he is If I recall correctly, because I don't have it in front of me, I believe he's tied for third in the nation in free throw percentage. That's incredible. And an acrobatic shot there by Cruson. But 93%, that's good for third in the nation. That's incredible. Another hard foul as Curley and Chapman go to the ground. And Chapman gets charged with the foul again. That's his third.
I think we're confident this one's going to stick with Chapman, though.
Are you sure?
I think we're confident. Pretty confident on that one.
I don't know. I wasn't sure. Catchings gets Chapman leaning. Pass in the Farrell, back to Ringland. Ringland for three, no good. Rebound and the putback by James Curley.
Hit the ball, Kenny, hit the ball!
And Chapman answers with an acrobatic shot. Pass real tall, and Ringland is able to go up and get it. Schwartz gets that one to go.
Nice touch there by Schwartz. That was not an easy shot. Kind of caught leaning there a little bit. Had to almost curve it around the defender.
McCullough in and out. Ambrose missed twice. Farrow with the board. Curley looking to make something happen. He drives, gets the friendly roll. How about that? And McCullough gets the finger roll to go.
Pacers are really finding some good offense now off the dribble. You've seen it a couple times now where they pass out to the three-point line. They think about shooting for maybe a couple seconds, and they just take the ball off the dribble and right into the rack for either a foul or an easy layup.
So that foul is going to be on Curley. Pass out to the corner. Chapman knocks it down. Ringland drives. And back into the hands of Curley. And it's no good. And Curley's fouled again.
Going to be on Chapman, too. That'll be 4. I mean, honestly, that did look like a good call to me. They went over backwards.
Yeah, that's one that can honestly go either way. But the foul is charged to Chapman, and that's 4. And we're not even 5 minutes into the second half.
Nice quick action there to Schwartz off the inbound pass. Beautiful play. Cut to the basket for 2.
Foul on catching. And the Pacers will take a timeout.
Well, the Immaculata coach, Jason Hyman, is not having that last call underneath there on Chapman.
Nice look at some friendly faces over there. Lots and lots of faces in the crowd. You see a picture of Kendall Farrell over there. I see Ringland and Curley. A lot of family and friends out for senior night.
Kind of have to wonder maybe if Immaculata's, now they're pressing a little bit now too, if their willingness to put on-ball pressure is part of the reason why they're getting blown past off the dribble. Maybe they're almost coming up too much, applying too much pressure, and the Pacers are exploiting that.
Shoot, Jer. Good. Shoot, Jer. Talk. Switch. Good, kid.
And we have a foul called on the floor. It's on Swartz.
Talk. Body up.
McCullough finds his man. Blocked by Ringland.
Nice job there by Ringland to really stay with him.
He made his presence felt on the inside. The Pacers lead by 13 points. Curley, that was Swartz for 3. He knocks it down. The Pacers bench loves it. And the Pacers lead by 16, 54, 38.
Let's go, White.
Everything working here for the Pacers.
Ikarski tried to answer, couldn't get it.
Hey, again. Get another one. Get another one. Let's go. Shooter, Jeremy, shooter.
And Schwartz lets him go as he knocks it down.
Rip. Rip. Get out, James. Hey, elbow 3.
Pacers keeping a cool head there under pressure.
Into Schwartz. No good, gets it back, and he's got it.
Really nice ball movement again, though. And a nice move there by Schwartz to get inside, and then he grabs his own rebound.
Great defense by Ringland. Another missed shot by the Mighty Macs.
Well, and there's the Tip Schwartz we know.
Making it rain from beyond the arc. And the Pacers lead by 19.
And you feel like the Pacers could be looking to put the game here away.
And a strip coming the other way. McCullough will be fouled by Farrell.
Good foul there by Farrell. They had the break running. And I think maybe a technical.
And we do have a technical as it's on Brandon McCullough.
You kind of did feel like the tensions were getting a little high in here. A lot of fouls. A lot of displeasure with the ref. Emotions are high. What can we say?
Both of these teams need wins for the playoffs. I mean, we're still awaiting the final score of the Keystone game. We're trying to find it. Our statisticians back there are working on it. But we know that Keystone was losing by a lot. We can't say for sure that they lost, but it certainly seems that way.
Marywood's lead has swelled to past 20 here now, up 21. As Schwartz made good on the 2 technical free throws. You have to wonder if Immaculata knows the outcome of the Keystone game.
And it looks like DeGroot will be charged with a foul.
Randy, what did he do to hold it? When I looked, his hands were up. You're good. You're good.
Nice shot there by Cruson.
Quick release there from Cruson.
Catchings to Farrell. The give to Ringland. Back to Schwartz, over to Catchings.
Tried to swing the ball around there. Good job, though, rotating on defense by Immaculata.
Shot no good. Schwartz missed that one. Foul on Farrell. That's going to be his 4th.
Looks like coach might be preparing for a double substitution here, most likely involving Farrell as DiFilippo. And Cockrell is set to check in. Well, actually, he sits down DiFilippo now. And he's going to go small here, bringing Cockrell for Farrell. Pacers seem to be breaking Immaculata's press with relative ease here. That wasn't as intense of a press as before, but they never really seemed to have that much trouble with it. Offensive foul there on Schwartz. Jeremy Ringland nearing a double-double here, 11 points, 8 rebounds. And on the Immaculata side, we have 9 points and 8 boards for Piekarski.
And there is Jeremy Ringland. He currently has 11 points for him and 8 rebounds. Getting closer to that double-double. There we go. 11 points, 8 rebounds. Could put up another double-double in his, what possibly will be his final home game as a member of the Marywood Pacers. There is still a chance that they have a home game in the playoffs, but it is very unlikely, as they would need to play Keystone in the final in order for that to happen. And that, in that case, it would take place right here at the Immaculata Arena next Saturday. And DeGroot lost it. Shot from the corner for 3 is in and out. Cordell Lord missed that one.
All the Pacers have to do now here is keep playing the way they've been playing, not get tentative because of a lead. You have to, they know how to play with the lead, as they've won 3 in a row, so they're used to having the lead, but got to keep that foot on the gas pedal while still playing smart and keeping the tempo appropriate.
They just got to keep letting the shot clock go down as Cockrell knocks it down. And Coach Mastriani will take a timeout with 10:02 to play and a 21-point lead. So let's play some matchmaker here, as if everything holds as it is. We don't know for sure that Keystone lost, but let's just say they did.
Probably a pretty safe assumption. So.
Yeah, we've been looking to try to see updates, but the live stats that, if you don't know about them already, the live stats that we look at for our games, they use the same thing down in Keystone and Rosemont and every other school in the CSAC. And it's not updating for some reason, so we don't have a final score. Once we have that, we will give it to you. But let's play some matchmaker here. So Cabrini and Gwynedd Mercy will have byes, which means Rosemont, Newman, Marywood, and Keystone will make the playoffs. So in all likelihood, it will be Newman versus Keystone at Newman on Monday night, and it will be Rosemont against the Pacers down at Rosemont on Monday night for the first round of the CSAC playoffs.
Yeah, James.
Blocked by DeGroot, but they call a foul. And that shot, free throw is good by Cruson.
Cock really threaded the needle that time there to Curley.
We got another double-double watch to tell you about, and it's Mike Pikarski. As that shot is no good. DiFilippo pulls down the board, but Pikarski's got 9 points and 8 rebounds.
Marywood gets the reset there too, which is important for clock purposes.
Into the corner. DeGroot makes a move, goes cross court. Curley into Monahan. And a charge will be called on Monahan. Coach Mastriani clearly doesn't like the call.
Not happy with the call. The only thing I could say was a little bit of a delayed call.
That's not his call.
I will say it's.
You could hear Coach Mastriani saying that's not his call.
Call this, Greg.
Yeah, and it seemed like it was a little bit of a delayed call too. You know, if you're already on your way up for the shot, you got to make the call when you see it.
Yeah, I think he's trying to say the wrong ref made the call, that it's not his actual call. This game's actually starting to get a little rough in terms of the way they're playing. That could have been a foul right there, but Cockrell pulls down the board, and the Pacers will bring it up. He better get over half court. All right, he does. Hurley got his man in the air. Pass into DeGroot. And it's knocked out of his hands and out of bounds. But Marywood will keep it. Swartz and Ringland back into the game. The two X factors for the Pacers all season long. A big part in making this playoff run.
Absolutely, we said in the pregame those are the number 1 and number 2 options for the Pacers, and they have been all year. I'd say primarily Schwartz has been the number 1 option, and whenever he hasn't been there, Ringland has picked up the slack for him, and vice versa. And today, really, I'll tell you though, James Curley today really playing a very good game of basketball. Got them going early when Schwartz had a little bit of a hiccup, and that was very important. Right on cue, there he is.
Knocks it down again. 18 points for James Curley on senior night. He also has 5 rebounds and 3 assists.
You're all right. You're fine. Good foul, Tom.
probably going to see this look from Immaculata for as long as they feel that they could contend in this game. They realize that, turnovers are going to be the quickest way to get them back into things.
There he is again, James Curley, 21 points. Oh, wow. A great game for James Curley.
5 of 7 from 3. Wow, what a
look at that.
What an effort, what a game on a senior night here today. 8 of 11 from the field, 5 of 7 from beyond the arc. 5 rebounds, 3 assists to go with it. And like I said, he was really the catalyst early on here, because there for a while we didn't know if Schwartz was going to have the kind of game that he normally has, which really, you look at the stat line now, any sign of a struggle is erased. 21 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 steals on the day, along with a 6 for 14 mark shooting. And now he's actually 3 of 8 from beyond the arc, so he has rebounded nicely.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, Schwartz can blink and he's got 20 points, the way he's played this year. He's just been that effective, and he's done a tremendous job leading this Pacers squad all year. But if all holds as it is, the Pacers will make the playoffs as the 5 seed, and Keystone will make the playoffs as the 6 seed. I tell you what, that would be a great matchup if the Pacers played Keystone in the finals. Granted, you're going to see Cabrini, you're going to see Gwinnett, 2 really good teams, as Ringling got a piece of that one. So Schwartz comes down with it and they'll bring it back. But I was kind of looking forward to maybe seeing Keystone and Marywood play in the first round, kind of hoping, or even the semifinals, kind of just hoping to find a good game, and it's close enough that I could take the drive up there.
Well, we could say it now, too. That game where they had that huge comeback against Keystone is proving to be extremely important in their season. That's why when you look back at a season, we always talk about, how regular season does matter. You look at those little games, you look at those little things that you did, and that could have been, a possible turning point in their season, or a possible point where they were convinced maybe that they did have what it took to make it into the playoffs.
I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, they have an old saying in baseball. It means, especially in Major League Baseball, that the games in April are just as important as the games in September. And that they are, as in this case, the games in November are just as important as the games in February. And here we are.
Well, every game counts when you're talking about a final day scenario like this, where you have 3 teams fighting for a couple spots, fighting for seeding. And the Pacers today look like a team that just want it. They look like a team that's hungry, that's determined, that's ready, that's motivated.
Schwartz is fouled on the 3-point attempt, so he'll have 3 free throws.
And it was a complete effort today, or it has been so far. 50% from the field, so obviously that's good. And 33% for Immaculata, so a really good defensive effort. And that's what was missing.
Another big percentage there, 48% on the 3 ball.
Well, like I said, it's been working for them today. Curley has been a big part of that. He's made almost half of their 3-pointers made. He has 5. The team has 12.
Cockrell misses it. Ambrose pulls down the board. A foul is called. McCullough is called for another foul. Cockrell makes his first. In and out. Tough break. Shot for three, no good. Rebound pulled down by Ringland. And I believe that's 10. And that it is. It is a double-double for Jeremy Ringland. 11 points, 10 rebounds. Schwartz wide open for three, no good. And another foul. It's on Curley. And that pass is knocked out of bounds. Schwartz, the fadeaway is good.
26 for Schwartz. Now he is the Pacers' leading scorer.
Shot comes up short. They get it back. Ambrose, the step back three. No good. Farrell with the board. Farrell can't get it. Ringland can't get the putback. Nice behind the back pass there by Cruson. And Ambrose gets that to go and a timeout.
So it looks like the Pacers are on the verge of their first playoff berth, and going back a couple seasons or so, I forget exactly how long it was, but I want to say it's something like 5 years since they've made the playoffs.
Yeah, the Pacers' last playoff year was 2010-2011. That's a long time ago.
Yeah, so that's even longer. That's about 7 years then.
This is the first time they're going to be above 500 in the CSAC since, let's see, 2008, 2009.
And that you have to say something about Coach Mastroianni there too, because you see he has had a build during his tenure. They started off 2-16 in conference, and they moved to 5-13, and now this year they're starting to get to where they want to be.
Get it up to Cockrell. 23-point lead for the Pacers as it stands right now. Farrell, that's a long two, it's no good. And we have a foul on the floor.
4 on Curley.
And be sure to tune in next. Be sure to tune in on Monday night for the women's first round matchup. They take on Immaculata they take on Centenary University on February 19th. That game is at 7 o'clock. Be sure to tune into TV-Marywood for all the coverage of that postseason CSAC first round game. And it's only right here on TV-Marywood.
Exciting times in Marywood athletics. We're going to get a playoff berth for the first time in 6 or 7 seasons here for the men. The women are going to be here on Monday night, fighting to continue their playoff run. Nice couple of days for Marywood basketball.
Chapman a long three, no good. Rebound pulled down by Schwartz.
And as far as the men go now, looking forward to the playoffs, as we could say this game is over. And we all are sure that Keystone lost. Momentum is a funny thing once you get to the playoffs. Sometimes the team that is riding the hot hand is the team that could take it all the way. So Marywood is definitely hot. They're going to enter on a 4-game win streak. And if they play anything like they played today, they're going to have a good chance of moving forward in the playoffs. Because this was quite an impressive effort because it was a complete effort on the offensive end and the defensive end alike.
Well, there's always been times in sports where you get hot. And let's use last year's Cleveland Indians as an example. They won at one point 23 games in a row, going from late August through the middle of September. That team had the best record actually in the American League over the Astros by 1 game. And it wound up that they lost in the first round in the American League Division Series to the Yankees. And they always say you can't get hot at the wrong time. They got too hot too soon, and they lost. The Astros were a team that got hot near the end, along with the Dodgers. Got hot the last 2 weeks of the season, and they rode that right into the postseason. And you could say the same thing about this Pacers team, as over the last 2 weeks, they've won 3 games in a row, over the last week actually, and they are going to be going into the playoffs on a 4-game win streak. Ringland gets it to go. And a nice finish there by Ambrose. Schwartz gets it past half court. You know, it'd be really nice to see somebody throw one down.
You kind of feel like they're all going in for Curley today. You feel like the crowd's ready for another big splash from 3. Didn't go down that time, but he's already done his part today.
Ambrose misses. It would be cool to see one last throwdown from Ringland. Looked like Ringland wanted it there. You couldn't see him on screen, but just by his reaction, he definitely wanted it there. A hard foul on Curley. And it looks like Curley wanted a piece of Pekarski. And Curley and Chapman. Chapman was jawing a lot along with Pekarski.
Well, emotions, they're starting to run high now. You know your season's, if they know what happened with Keystone, you know your season's over. So it's definitely tough out there, you know. You can't let that get the best of you, but it's...
And Immaculata will be pulling their players on the court.
Kendall Farrell comes off the court for Marywood, too. That's what that ovation was for there.
Kendall Farrell, a tremendous career at Marywood. And that will mean Curley heading to the bench as Eric Sika will come in for him. Great game for James Curley, 24 points, 5 rebounds. And what a way to go out in your last home game as a college basketball player. I'm sure Ringland will be coming out shortly. I see someone getting ready to come in. And there it is as Zach Tinkham will come in for Jeremy Ringland. And Ringland's Marywood career has come to a close. Took his sophomore year off. Played great quickly. You just saw on your screen the double-double watch for Tip Swartz. He's got 9 rebounds along with 26 points. Another great game for him. But Ringland took off his sophomore year, decided to become an RA here at Marywood. And coincidentally, he's actually been my RA for a year and a half now, which is kind of interesting. Got to know him a little bit better. And from everything, all my experiences with Jeremy, he's one of the nicest kids you can ever meet. And I'm really going to miss him next year.
He's a gentle giant.
Absolutely he is. So Swartz will take a seat, Catchings will take a seat as John Grassi and Brad Kalinowski come in for the Pacers to play the final minute. Adam Busada also on the court along with Zach Tinkham and Eric Sika.
All the starters getting a well-deserved minute off. I'm sure your coach doesn't want to risk any kind of an injury or something funky happened here before the first round. They certainly have done their job here today. They deserve the minute off.
Nice shot there from Sika as he knocks it down.
Johnny, take it.
Shot over Kalinowski is no good. Grassi with the board. And Brendan Davies will check in as Busado takes a seat.
Well, as time winds down here, we could say that the at one point probably improbable odds of the Pacers making the playoffs are going to come true here today. They have accomplished their goal, and if I may say, they really have proven to be a really formidable team.
Rossi on the floor with it. Does a great job. And the Pacers look like they will run out the final 14 seconds. And the Marywood Pacers win their 4th in a row and clinch a CSAC playoff berth. They get the job done, 84-63. The Pacers will be the 5 seed in the Colonial States Athletic Conference tournament. And on Monday night, down at Rosemont, they will take on the team that gave them a little bit of help tonight, this afternoon, I should say, in Rosemont in the 4-5 matchup in the first round.
I don't think the Pacers are going to show any mercy, though, because they helped them. I think that's probably going to be forgotten about come the first round matchup. They're going to come to Rosemont with everything they've got and hope to continue their first playoff run in a long time.
Still trying to see if Keystone fell. And yep, it's official. Wow. All right. Let's see if, because I'm just seeing it now. Let me see if we can get our graphic updated. And we're working on getting that graphic up, so we will show it to you momentarily. But a great game for the Pacers, as we saw. Tip Swartz put up 26 and 9, following a rebound shy of a double-double. James Curley had a great game, 24 points and 5 rebounds. There it is.
Well, Brandon, the bottom line with this Pacer team is that they dug deep when they needed to. They overcame the obstacles a lot of people probably thought they wouldn't be able to overcome. And at the end of the day, the Pacers are going to playoffs.
You're absolutely right. You can see there on the bottom corner of your screen, 105-68 in favor of Rosemont. If Rosemont puts up 105 points in this game, that's going to be a tough matchup.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Pacers showed very good defensive intensity today. I said it to me, a lot of times with them, the defense is the key. Their offense stays pretty much around the same numbers, especially in the scoring department. They held them to 33% shooting today, and really just an all-around great effort because not only did they do that, but they shot 46% from the field, 40% from three. The three ball may not always be there like that, but they had inside-out offense working as well. I think that really neither of these games turned into the nail-biters that we thought they might be on the last day of the season, but that's credit to Rosemont for getting their business done, and especially to Marywood here, as really their fate was in the balance today, and they did it. So it happened. They're going back to the playoffs.
Well, Rosemont won the season series. They won here at the Immaculata Arena back on January the 6th. Rosemont won that one 88-81, and back on January 27th, they got it done at home 82-60. Well, that's going to do it for our coverage here of the regular season finale for the men. From all of us here at TVM, that's Nico Lomanzo, and I'm Brendan Murphy saying good day from the Immaculata Arena. Once again, the final score, the Pacers get the job done, 84-63.